felt so stimulated. It's very contagious. How much is this shit? Hello there, my name is Robert James Elrington. I'm a professional speaker, author, mentor and coach. I specialise in both professional and personal development. And I've been doing this for some 40 years. And my special guest today is an exceptional man. His name is Paul Rouse. And if you bear with me, I will read out a little bit of his background. I'm sure you'll be impressed as much as I was. Paul is a successful entrepreneur and contributor to the arts with business interest and involvement in Service FM, LVX Global, Estate Services, Gambler Facility Services, Mensana, The Laughter Project, The Pilgrim Project, and Greg, a Man's Wellbeing app. Paul has had many senior management positions over a 40-year period in the facility services industry and is a co-founder and shareholder of Service FM, a national facility service company, and Estate Services, a national electrical testing and tagging company. Specialising in strategic planning and operations management, Paul has been instrumental in bringing about positive culture change in business, dedicating his time to empowering others, enabling them to lead and make positive contributions. Paul is a happy, genuine person, I can vouch for that, and a storyteller. He has studied a master laughter coach, a married celebrant, and has spent time in spiritual development, taking journeys to India and Thailand, meeting with masters and gurus to explore and learn the value of spirituality in life. Paul also has an MBA from the Adelaide University, is a mental health campaigner and a major supporter of the men's wellness app, Greg, and the founder of the Laughter Project, raising the awareness, benefit and importance of joy and laughter in life. Paul's professional goals are to support people who are caring, who are honest and who come with respect and integrity, to embrace conversations on how to improve and transform the way we think and live, and to have and bring about positive, worthy outcomes, living in peace, happiness and joy. Wow. God, well else you got.
That's exhausting, isn't it?
That is amazing. I want to talk to you about this wonderful thing that's very close to my heart. And I know a lot of my clients would love to hear from you about this whole master laughter coach thing. With all your background, this is the one I want to focus on today. So what got you into becoming a master laughter coach, Paul?
Well, it's interesting because I went through a bit of a period of time where I felt that laughter was diminishing in my own journey. I thought, just a minute, there's a place of where laughter would be good for me to consider for the way I'm feeling. And I found out that there was a laughter session available here to learn how to laugh in a laughter coaching capacity. And I thought, I'm going to have a look at that. Because,
what, a professional course in that?
Yeah, a professional course in laughter.
Amazing.
I thought I'll have a look at that. So I met a fellow there who was teaching the technology, and I went and looked up what it was about, and I found out that there was a man over in India who found that laughter was actually a good way to share and a good way to actually be have incredible health benefits to you, both mental health and physical health. So that's something that I thought, well, it seems a bit simple. Why could just laughing give you a bit of help in your health and both mental and physical? And I thought, that's interesting, I'll go and explore that further.
So the saying laughter is the best medicine makes a lot of sense.
It does make a lot of sense.
Right.
Because since I
well, someone knowing you always laugh. You laugh all the time.
I
Looking
love to
at you
laugh.
makes me laugh.
Looking at you makes me laugh too.
It's contagious, isn't it?
It is
I was
contagious.
trying to get a little serious here, now you're making me laugh again.
See, it's good to laugh.
Yeah.
My father taught me something very, very early on. He said there's something you can do in life called mirror medicine. And mirror medicine, he called it. He said, look, you can wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and he said, it's your choice how you might feel in the day. And if you look in the mirror and you say to yourself, I'm going to be happy and I'm going to have a smile, the first person to smile back at you when you smile to yourself is yourself.
Wow, good advice.
And if you start your day with a smile at yourself, the first person you meet in the day, if you smile, that person can't help but smile with you. Now that's the place.
Well
smile
done.
with you.
Yes.
And when someone's smiling with you, together you're bringing about a change in the feeling of yourself and the change of the feeling in the other person. And that's actually a chemical change in your body.
Really?
It's not just a facial change. It actually changes you chemically, so you actually feel better by smiling. And it's so interesting, when I go up to people and I smile and they smile back, I feel better.
Well, Paul, in this current climate, which we'll talk about in a second, but if it's so important, which makes a lot of sense to me, why aren't we smiling more? Why aren't we laughing more?
Well, that's a very interesting point. What we do is we tend to come up with complaint in our minds because we have a lot of things going on around us that we can tend to complain about and worry about. Some of the things that we worry about are some of the things that we don't have any say about or control over, but we still worry. We worry about things that are unforeseen, and we worry about things that maybe in the past we didn't do. We worry about other family members, we worry about our jobs, we worry about the conditions in the world, especially now when you look at where COVID is. We worry if we're going to get COVID, we worry about whether we're going to be able to travel, we worry about all sorts of things. So there's a lot of stresses and worries that we start to take on, and that can cause us not to want to smile because, the stresses of life. Sometimes we wake up in the morning, we might put the radio on, and the first thing we hear is news that's not helpful. It's sometimes sensationalized news, and we hear about how many COVID cases there are around the world, or we hear about car crashes, or we hear about earthquakes, or we hear about wars, because we're in the information age.
Yes.
And the information age is giving us sometimes too much information.
No comedy in this stuff.
And there's some of the information is just overwhelming, and we can try to not listen to it, but really we've got to ask ourselves, is it beneficial? Is it something we need to feed ourselves with all the time? Obviously we need to be aware, but really sometimes the way that the media is operating today and the way the expectation of the world is, we can be overwhelmed with the responsibility.
Paul, the thing I've sort of passed on to my clients over the years is the biggest killer to the human race is really worry. And we tend to worry about things you were saying where you have world problems and personal problems, and there's nothing we can do about the world problems. And I think this COVID thing is really sad. Have you heard the saying, we don't have a suicide problem, we have a low self-esteem problem, because people with high self-esteem don't want to harm themselves. I'd like your comments on what you could do, because the suicide rate has increased dramatically. Just the other day I was reading in the paper, 7 young girls have just terminated their lives. Teenage girls in the prime, not even at the prime of their life. How can comedy and what can we do to help those sort of people to minimise that? I'd like your comments on that.
Yes, I agree that that is a problem that we seem to have in society, that people's idea of themselves can really be influenced by the pressures of others, and so they take on an idea of themselves as being, there's so much pain going on, so the pain is self-inflicted.
Right.
The realisation that the pain is self-inflicted is to understand that some of the choices that we make for ourselves can actually influence our lives and our futures, but we don't realise that the choices we make are actually our responsibility. So when we come to the responsibility stage, we say, is there a chance that I can not look beyond or outside of myself, but look from within?
Very
and
good.
if the
Very
within,
well
if the within,
Yes.
if we can educate the young ones to realise that the responsibility for their own joy and happiness is something that they can grow from within. They don't have to look outside for their happiness or for their fulfilment. They can start from a place of within, and that's as simply as looking in the mirror in the morning and giving yourself a smile.
Wow.
And looking at the bright side of life. We heard the story, the bright side of life. If we start within ourselves and we share that place of good inner feeling, if we're able to go and make another person feel better, we will feel better ourselves. A lot of the people who are having low self-esteem are feeling sorry for themselves.
Right.
And the place of feeling sorry for yourself isn't a place of getting you outside of that place where your depression can start to
It's definitely inside.
sneak in and start to really get you down. If you say, look, my responsibility today is to be happy for me and then to share that happiness, then suddenly there's a purpose for your journey. And that purpose comes with, I can look up instead of looking down. I can actually choose to look up. And the first thing I'm going to do is look for what's joyous in the world. The sunshine, the birds are singing, the music is playing, the beautiful green grass is growing.
Have you got some evidence where you've actually seen that happen, especially in the areas of productivity with firms or with employees, Paul? Have you got an example you can share with us?
Oh, most definitely. We've done some surveys of how people feel before our workshops, a week after the workshops, and how that's affected their overall culture.
Wow.
And we've demonstrated and shown that people who actually do the workshop and do some focus on actual humour training and consider human training, everyone gets their certificate, they see a 60% improvement in work satisfaction, work-life satisfaction. People actually want to come
amazing.
to work. 60% improvement, incredible.
And the difference to productivity, that would be substantial if you had a 60%.
Well, happy workplace means happy people doing happy work, which is absolutely able to improve productivity. And we have measured that as well. It's up to 12% improvement in productivity.
So what you said to me the other day, if you want to become profitable, if you want to make a profit, become a prophet at humour. That was a good line you said, wasn't it?
That's exactly
Very
right.
good.
It's exactly right.
I wouldn't say that shit.
Culture, workplace culture is where it's at. And if people are satisfied at work and they're happy at work, they actually do a better job and are much more productive.
Paul, of all the people I've interviewed, as much as I love and bless them all, mate, you'd stand out. You're a very wonderful person, the way you do things. I can see it's in your heart to give.
Thank you.
And what I'd like to do, thank you so much, is offer Paul services. And the way we're going to do that, because it's just new at this stage we're doing, is offer a free appointment for us to come out and see you, to see where Paul can help you. He runs workshops and he runs speaking engagements based on the humour. You imagine what you could do with your productivity or your life in general when you put some more humour in there. Please contact us at robertelrington.com. You'll see a copy of this video. Contact us and we'll make a call and contact you and come out and speak to you. And Paul has emphasised there's no charge to this. This is all free of cost, just to have a chat to you first, and then you can make a decision from there. Thank you very much. Well, that's fantastic. What's his fucking name again? Name is so impressive.
I'm keeping that in.
That's fantastic.
It's good to keep me laughing.
I got laughed later, but my memory's fucked. Is that?